You're listening to Eat, Theatre, Sleep, Repeat, Blackpool Grand Theatre's podcast. Your fun-filled look behind the curtain. Get ready for incredible stories, backstage gossip, community highlights, and plenty of star power. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome to Eat, Theatre, Sleep, Repeat. Today, my special guest is Gwen, Blackpool Grand Theatre's Archivist. How are you, Gwen?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Gwen, just to start with, just tell us a little bit about your role and what it entails here at Blackpool Grand Theatre.
Yes, my job here as archivist at the theatre is to maintain and look after the collections that we have here of all kinds of items, programmes, posters, photographs, everything to do with the history of the theatre, and to make it accessible for the public to use.
And how long have you been doing it here?
I started volunteering here at the theatre in 2013.
And what was it that got you into it?
I retired from my work as a librarian in 2012, and there was a notice in the paper, local paper, asking for if there was anybody who would like to help with cataloguing the collections, the theatre collections. And as I'd done work like that through my career as a librarian, and also my interest in the theatre, I applied to do that and was accepted, and I've been here ever since.
How important, Gwen? Because obviously you come from that sort of librarian scene and things. How important do you feel it is for a building like ours to archive and keep the heritage and, like an archive of things that can be date stamped and that can go back in time? How important do you think that is?
It is very important. The theatre is 131 years old now, and it's had a mixed history from the very early days, and then the fall in numbers coming to the theatre, and then the story of the theatre almost being knocked down, and how it was saved. So there's different stories connected to the Grand Theatre, and it's important to keep a record of everything and for future generations, because hopefully this theatre will be here for another 131 years.
And it's just that when you look at this theatre, I mean, we've had many a conversation about the architecture and things. It is an architectural masterpiece when you look at it, isn't it?
It's an amazing building. And I think the fact that the architect Frank Matcham did such a good job in a restricted space, really, on the corner in Church Street in Blackpool, that he managed to get this beautiful theatre into that space. And the theatre's been looked after ever since. And I'm sure if Frank walked into the theatre today, he'd recognise it as his original building and everything that's in it. There's been a lot of restoration work done over the years, which has kept the theatre as it is, but it's an ongoing job.
And it is a very unique space, isn't it, when you look at obviously the development from Carter Street into Matcham Court. You've got Church Street, one of the prominent roads in the area as well. It was very well constructed into such a confined space, wasn't it?
It was, and I think Matcham had this experience from doing other theatres, that he knew how to fit so much into a small space. He couldn't build out, but he could build up. And the way the theatre is structured with the three balconies and all the space around it, he did an amazing job getting all that into a restricted space.
Putting you on the spot here, and I don't mean to, but when you look at the sort of the way that the foyer is, and it's built up and it's built on a corner, and the theatre sort of goes behind that, it's very different to any other sort of Frank Matcham building, I can imagine. Or am I wrong in thinking that?
A lot of his theatres were very similar, but I think he had this insight that he could see what would work. And of course, Tom Surgenson, who owned the theatre, who wanted the theatre built, he had his own ideas and he put these to Matcham that he wanted a play theatre. Nothing like the Opera House, which had just been built up the road. He wanted a smaller theatre that was more intimate, that was more for drama than for big productions. And I think Matcham managed to capture that in the design and also in the decor, which is Baroque style and just amazing to look at, and that it is still the same.
You're backstage with Eat, Theatre, Sleep, Repeat. Make sure you hit follow.
So, if you're a theatre lover, you get the chance to come around the theatre and explore it, don't you? With the options to take up the open day, which is coming up this month, and also various afternoon teas and heritage tours. Just talk to us a bit about them and what the experience is that you get from them.
We do monthly tours of the theatre. We have 2 regular ones, which are the Backstage Secrets Tour, which lasts 90 minutes, and you get refreshments at the end of that. And we have the Grand Opulence Tour, which is 45 minutes, and that's more front of house and about the history of the theatre and the changes that have happened over the years that we've been able to do. More recent years, we've started doing the 1-hour tour with afternoon tea on the stage, which is very special. It's amazing to do the tour and then to actually end up on the stage and have lovely tables set out and served with afternoon tea, nice music in the background. So it's very special.
And talk to us about the theatre open day tours that are coming up this week.
So the open days next week, we're doing 3 days this year. We're doing Thursday morning, Friday evening, which is a first for us, and Saturday morning. The theatre will be open. We do have half-hour kind of walk-round tours, which are like a taster for the tours that we do. And those are all booked up, I'm afraid, at the moment. But we have our tour guides there on the open days, and we're quite happy to chat and take individuals round to some of the areas so that they can have a see what will be involved if they do a tour.
Well, thank you so much, Gwen, for your insight on that. And of course, if you want to book and go on a tour around the theatre or book on the afternoon teas, the heritage tours, they run throughout the year, and you can check on nearest availability dates by heading to blackpoolgrand.co.uk. Thank you so much for being my guest today, Gwen.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on Eat, Theatre, Sleep, Repeat. Thanks for joining us at Blackpool Grand Theatre. And don't forget to like, most definitely follow, and join us again. Until next time, stay fabulous.